This week, something from Lexus. It is the ES300H. First of all, a couple of things about this particular Lexus, this ES, built on the same platform as the Camry. So it's a similar size to Camry, it's just a little bit more luxurious, and that's why you'd pay more for this car than you would a Camry. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with a Camry, perfectly adequate. Let's get on to the drivetrains. This particular one has a 2.5 hybrid drive. Now, what does that mean? First of all, let's go through the different drives. There's EV, which is electric only, electric motor and a battery. Then you have ICEs, or internal combustion engines, which are petrol or diesel. Then you have a plug-in hybrid, which gives you between 40 and 80 kilometres of pure electric driving on the electric motor. Then the petrol engine or diesel engine will cut in and help charge the system and will then run like a normal hybrid. This one is just a regular Toyota Lexus hybrid system. The front is deeply sculpted, and this crisscross hourglass style grille has been really polarizing. It goes from the top of the bonnet to the bottom of the very bottom of the skirt. Some people like it, some people don't. I think it looks not too bad, at least on this car. And you can see here just how much it sticks out. This particular model, which is the F Sport with enhancement pack, comes with the upgraded LED lights, and the LED lights have a matrix function. With these three beautiful elements, I think that just looks sensational, and a washer below. From the side, this is fairly limo-esque in proportions. There's the F Sport badge to let you know you paid a little bit extra, and these stunning wheels, which I think with this colour looks absolutely brilliant. With the key in my pocket, I can slide my hand in, the doors unlock, mirrors unfold, and I can do that from all four doors. And around the back, the tail lights are rather complex with these really tasteful elements, and that looks nice lit up at night. But you also get a kick to open function because, whoops, this is the upgraded version. The boot will slide up and will open all of its own accord, and it will close again, obviously, with the button. Now you can do that without unlocking the doors, which I like, but you can't lock it from the back. Inside, the boot is fairly spacious with a nice big ski hatch. There's tie down spots, and underneath is a spare. I'm going to try and get this out. It's a little difficult. And underneath there's a space saver spare. When getting in the back, you've got to watch this. That's a little bit low, but it's really quite nice back here. The first thing I want you to notice is the amount of leg room I've got. That's with the seat all the way back. When you turn the system off, this car slides the seat back and the steering wheel up and out of the way. This one doesn't have everything the top model has, but it's still got a couple of outlets for USB, a 12-volt outlet, air vent. Of course, there's a beautiful cover over the Mark Levinson speakers, which I'll talk about later, and some quite tasteful trim. There's no hard, nasty plastic to be seen anywhere. Now in the front, there are quite a few things to see. Right, the steering wheel has gone down and come forward, seat has slid forward. I've got a couple of memories here, 3 memories on the door for my memory seats. Once you press the start button, the engine comes to life and you get these little bubbles on the screen. And I can see it there, here in front of me, and whoops, let's turn that down. And on the quite wide heads-up display, which is in front of me. Normally you wouldn't have this cord hanging here. I've just got it here to plug my Navman into the 12 volt that's at the back. But you've got this, in this model, this lovely wide 12, I think it's 0.3 inch screen, digital clock, drive modes up here on the binnacle, and a full digital dash, though that ring does slide across in true Lexus style. On the other one, we've got traction control off. All of the controls have finally been moved up here onto the steering wheel. This one, of course, comes with a 360-degree view camera. Particularly handy when parking. That comes on, of course, when you put it in reverse. There's separate buttons here for the climate, And below, one touch buttons. Very handy for getting directly to media or radio or whatever, and a nice big knob for volume and search. Down below that we've got seat heating and cooling for the front, steering wheel heating, and there's a blind in the back. Let's see if you can see that. You see that blind going up? The top model also gets blinds on the side doors. This does have the current Lexus infotainment system, but that is being updated. The UX, I think it is, has the brand new system. You still have to control this one with the pad down below. However, you can have, if you wish, access through the touchscreen. Now, some of the functions disappear when you're driving, which is incredibly annoying. Oh, one thing I'm going to show you. Is Toyota finally, one thing I'm going to show you is Toyota finally came to the party on Apple CarPlay. And there's a little space just here for my phone. So I can go into Apple CarPlay and search, and I can just tell it to go home and it'll take me home. There are drive modes, as I said, but it doesn't really affect anything else. It's just the engine and transmission. The suspension is quite good, but firmer than I would think. So on a weekend, you might like to do what I'm doing, and that's take this drive through the mountain, through a mountain pass, with lovely twisty, bendy bits. Now, this isn't pretending to be a sports car. It just isn't. So, going around these tight bends. Oh, that's handling that beautifully. Beautifully. Now, most of the way coming down here, it's going to be gathering power for the lithium-ion battery that will power this in EV mode. And as with all Toyota hybrids, it switches between charging the battery, using the battery to power the electric motor, and using both the electric motor and the petrol engine to power the front wheels. Like I said, this is a CVT, but this is one of those ones where a CVT really probably is the only acceptable option. Now you'll notice how quiet it is in here. I mean, it's really very quiet. I've activated the active cruise control, so the system's now ready to go. And on the wheel, I've just pressed set. So that's now set at 110. Happy days. It's also activated my lane guidance. So that's not only lane departure, but it's steering me within the lanes. The steering me within the lanes only works when you've got the cruise control system active, which is annoying. So I'd like to talk for a little while now about the sound system. Mark Levinson, extra speakers, including the biggest speaker, I think it's 26 point something centimeters, the biggest speaker in any Lexus, or biggest subwoofer in any Lexus. Then there's little tasteful touches like the, if I can find it, the glove box that opens both ways, so the front passenger can get access to it too. There's also cup holders, they're asymmetric, and in fact the dash has a similar asymmetric layout to the Camry. Coincidence? I think not. There's 10 airbags, and because this is a Japanese car, the indicators are on the right hand side, which is also the right side. Overhead I've got a glass sunroof. That opens at the touch of a button, and it will also put the back edge up. Let's put that down, close that. I'm going to have a sip on my coffee. So what this car is brilliant around town. The thing is, for $78,000, is this worthwhile? Certainly drives nicely. I really like the steering, though it does have a neutral feel, as most Toyotas do, but it isn't dead like Toyotas used to be, or Lexuses. Lexus gets very upset when we keep referring to their cars as Toyotas, even though in some markets some of the Lexuses are sold as Toyotas. That's it this week for the Lexus ES300H. As always, hit like, leave a comment, and just over there to subscribe.